People are often compared to icebergs, meaning that you only see 10% while the other 90% is kept hidden. Makes sense, I mean, that's why the Titanic sunk. Hidden in the water is every secret, fear, and aspiration that we have. Now, I'm fully aware that global warming is making it harder and harder to hide this 90%. But for the sake of this metaphor, and the hope that I make my point soon, just go with it. People hide the majority of who they are. Very few people can say that they have one person in their life who knows everything about themselves. Now, I know that every person in here is different. And it's kind of like this folded up piece of scratch paper. Now let's take a poll. How many of you still have your origami? Okay, and what do you plan on doing with this origami? Putting it on your dresser, giving it to your girlfriend, say you made it? I mean, I don't blame you, it is a pretty good origami, but my point is that all you have planned for this piece of paper is to just look at it. Now take a look around. There isn't a single origami in this room that's the same. We have bears, clams, stars, and the list goes on and on. Every single origami is unique with each fold, and it's kind of like us as people, because there isn't a single one of us in the entire world that's the exact same. For example, let's take the coolest person in this room. Who are we kidding? That's me. So, if I were to describe myself in 3 words, I would use boom, number 1, hilarious, number 2, honest, and number 3, Erin. There isn't a single word to describe me because I'm one of a kind. I mean, if there were 2 of me, the world would have ended back in 1994 when I was born. When you see me, though, you don't have half my story. You don't know my secrets, my fears, or my aspirations. When you see me walking down the hallway, you see this girl with long brown hair, freckles, blue eyes, and she's smiling, laughing, talking. But you don't see that I hate feet so much that I cry when you put them near me. That my room is so messy that the only people that know that there's a floor are the builders. That art class makes me uncomfortable, so I have to go in during my option to finish my projects. That I make funny jokes about myself because I'd rather beat people to the punch than hear how they really feel about me. I say cocky comments about how pretty and funny and smart I am all the time. But it's really because I hope one day I'll actually believe it. I was talented enough to get into NYU for theater, yet this is the only show I've ever been in at Miqua, because I haven't been talented enough to make them. My whole life, I've been second best in everything that I do, no matter how hard I rehearse or practice. But monologue show is the first time that I've ever really felt like being Erin was good enough. I don't rehearse for auditions because I'd rather go in and just be unprepared, because then if you don't get it, that's okay. You don't know any of my story. No one has the same secrets as me. And we know that when you look at these origamis that you don't really see them. Because the origami is like the iceberg. When you look at that swan, you miss the fold that allows it to stand up. The flap of the wings, the curve of the beak, the color of the paper, and when you look at every person that you walk by in the hallway, you miss 90% of who they are. So listen to their story, because when we get up on the stage, we have 5 minutes to start uncovering that 90% that we keep hidden. So listen to their story, because someone who gets up on this stage still thinks Harry Potter is real and that wizards walk among us. Someone that gets on this stage told people that they got a 25 on their ACT when they really got a 21 to sound smart. Someone feels like starving themselves is the only way that they can ever really feel pretty. Someone who will get up on the stage and share their story with you is afraid that they won't be remembered. Because people die, they're mourned over for a few days, and then pretty much forgotten, and they're scared that they're going to be one of those people. That they're never going to be remembered. And last year, someone contemplated suicide, but now they're so glad that they're alive. We see each other every day with our crooked beak and the flap of our wings. But it's time to look deeper. So go ahead, everyone. Open up.